Welcome, folks. It must be Easter week. If I can get a confirmation on that, hey, Merritt.
It's yes.
Okay. So we have a small group on, and you guys got me, and we got Jeannie, and we got Dr. Chris. So I think I'll be kind of playing the game here with you all, trying to figure out exactly what we're going to be presenting. First of all, I hope you all had a great No Kings. Just hit your digital hand if you attended a No Kings rally. Okay, that's Jeannie. Jeannie, Linda, Joan, Merritt, Debbie, Matthew. All right. So we got about 3/4 of us here that attended a No Kings rally. And last week we were talking about a lot of the things that we were doing to in fact promote the No Kings using various techniques, etc. So today we'll be talking a little bit about putting finishing touches on things. Merritt, you still got your hand up? Would you like to chat, or did you just forget to put it down? Oh, you're on mute. And you're all been muted, but you can unmute yourself. So if you have a question, you can blurt out a question, or you can just raise your hand since we're such a small group. So today, we're going to continue with the theme that we have on how to hands-on. And that theme is exactly what it says. How to, now I'll fill in the rest, use technology or technologies that we use every day to make us more efficient, to allow us to communicate better with people that we work with or that we protest with or that we're in a chapter or an organization with. So that's the how to. Now, the hands-on session in the name is pretty simple. We're actually going to take you up and show you how we do stuff. And yes, when you do stuff like that, you get a lot of oopses and ahs and oops, we're in the wrong spot. So we won't really apologize for that. We'll just tell you that that's part of the process today. So bear with us. And since we are a small group, we invite you to take us to lands that we haven't been. So if there is a question that you have, ask the question. We'll try to answer that. It may take us away from our intended track, but we'll get there. We've got a little over an hour to do this. So we publish a lot of newsletters and we send a lot to you. You may not have noticed that, but that's what we do. And we weren't able to do that very effectively when we had 3,000 members. But I just updated our membership to almost 10,600 locally, 27,000 nationally. And when you're trying to manage that amount of data and information and get things out, even though you have a team, that's a lot of work. That's an awful lot of work. And so we've used technology to try to figure out how to make it the most effective. And I'm letting Chris in. I know she was in a few minutes ago. Chris, I'm going to make you a co-host again because I know you enjoy that role, especially when we get in talking about technology. So today I'm going to take you up and show you a new newsletter that we put out, and then we're going to explore a few pieces of that. Oh, I see Ladasha is on. Hey, Ladasha. And for those of you who joined a few weeks ago and learned how to help run timers, etc. We're not going to do timers today, but we really appreciate those that have jumped in our various calls, our coffee and conversations, our unhappy happy hour, because it's really, really been great. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take you up and I'm going to share a screen with you. And this screen is going to be um, here we go. At least I think it's going to be our preliminary calendar for April 2026. And so every one of those scribbled lines, except for the chicken, every one of those scribbled lines is an event that we participate in, host, or promote. And so that's why we do all these various newsletters. And as you look through that, blue is the most popular color, and those are the ones that we put on at NWSOFA. Now, NWSOFA stands for Northwest Suburbs Organizing for Action, an Indivisible chapter. We started in the northwest suburbs of Chicago, the land beyond O'Hare. That's where we have this basic 10,500 members now. But we've grown nationally because of Zoom. And that's where we have like 26, 27,000 members that are across the country. So all those blue lines are events that we put on. Now, every day at 9 o'clock, we do a coffee and conversation. That's not listed here because it's every Monday through Friday, and there's just no room for it. So that's all the blue. The black areas that say like Field Team 6 or Honor with Action, those are events that we promote with other groups. And then the greens are Indivisible Illinois, which is the statewide weight coalition, or the national coalition. So you see things like Ezra and Leah, et cetera, listed there. So it just gives you a sense of all that we try to do on a given day. Now, I'm going to take you to a photo of a recent, and I got to find it first. That's part of this how-to and hands-on portion. There we go, screenshots. And I'm going to take you back for a second. All right. So our recent weekly promotion we sent out starts with this graphic as you see it here. I got to let a couple people in here. So you'll notice that it's a Indivisible NWSOFA weekly. And we use this graphic as the header of every weekly that we send out. Now you notice that this graphic is an Easter theme. And what I want to point out is this is our regular graphic, and I just went to Perplexity, which is an AI product, and I said to it, please make the attached graphic an Easter theme. And voila, it added what's next. It added Easter week of action. It added everybody in spring or Easter garb, but the signs and the layout is exactly the same. That just happened in about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. I'm going to drop that down. I'm going to stop share. And I'm going to take you to Perplexity and kind of go through that. Because those of you who have been getting these weeklies from us notice that this week had an Easter theme. the same graphic last week had a no kings theme. The week before, it had a voting theme. The week before that, yada yada yada. It goes on down to a Halloween theme. So once you get a graphic, and I have Perplexity make my graphics, you can actually convert those graphics uh, quickly and easily to your needs. So I'm going to attempt. So stay with me, folks. I'm going to attempt to go up to Perplexity and to share Perplexity here and show you what I do here, if that's okay with you. Anybody? Let me take a look at the gallery here and see if anybody's frowning. All right, people, give me a little fingers up if that's okay. That I go to okay, Merritt, okay, Carolyn, and I can't see anybody else, so that's great. So I'm going to start sharing my screen, and this will take a few seconds, folks. I'm working on an iPad, by the way, and I love my iPad. It's so simple, it's easy, but it does things a little bit slower sometimes than other things. So, Merritt, can you see my screen now? Is it showing us all things? Okay, very good, very good. So now I'm going to go over to Perplexity, and you'll see Perplexity Pro coming up here. So this is just the front screen of Perplexity. It has a home. It has a Discover, which is news articles. It has a library, which is all the things that I have viewed in the last few days, just doing different things like that. And you'll see the third one down. It says update attached graphic. It should have been with, but it said with an Easter theme. So you can kind of see this is what we were just talking about, that graphic that we used. And where did that come from? Well, I put in there, I said, update a graphic with an Easter theme. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm actually going to go back here and do a fresh one. I'm going to say, okay, let me get my keyboard working. Come on, keyboard. There we go. Update the attached graphic to a, what's coming up next after Easter? Is it Valentine?
No, May Day, maybe.
Oh, May Day, a May Day theme. You know, we say this how-to hands-on. That's because I have no idea what's going to happen, if it's going to work or not. All right. And then I'm going to go find my graphic that I want to use. I'm just going to grab an image. And the one I'm going to grab is going to be the one I use for what's next. And basically some what's next will come up here. Well, here's
I see your Shamrock one. Yeah.
here's a what's next here. You can see it's in green, etc. So I'm going to click that, and
We have Cinco
it's
de
going to
Mayo
think for a
coming up.
while. And sometimes it'll ask me some questions. A couple times it will tell me how to do it, as if it can't do it. Then I say, please do it. But you can see all the little dots.
Sheila mentioned, Bill, that we can't hear you. You're muted. But Sheila mentioned that there's also Cinco de Mayo as another holiday that's coming up. I think are we all muted? Did we lose Bill?
I was speaking, but I don't know if you all can hear me.
Yeah, I could hear you, but and I tried to communicate that to Bill, but I couldn't. One, I don't see him back on the screen. Okay, I think he's here now.
Lower right-hand corner for me.
Yeah,
You,
I see him now. But
uh,
I lost his audio.
no audio.
Hey, Bill, can you unmute yourself? Or I'll
Oh, I will unmute myself and
there.
put my, okay, so that was interesting. What, did you see the
No.
shared screen that I had?
We
No.
saw it up until the point that you took the green graphic
Yes.
and we're getting ready to convert that to a May theme.
Okay, well, very
But we
good.
we didn't see the magical conversion though.
Well, we'll go and we'll show what happened, and we'll repeat that. So I've got to start this again. Again, this is that how-to hands-on, and I don't know if you saw the size of my fingers, but I do have a lot of errors that happen when I'm working away here. So let me kind of come on up here. Hopefully you can now see my screen. And let me know if you can see the Mayday graphic on the screen.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. So you can see that moved from what it was to this. Now, I'm just going to ask it to do one more, and I'm going to ask it to create a
A Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo.
oh boy. So somebody tell me how to spell
I'll
Cinco.
spell it for you, Bill. CINCO and then space DE space Mayo MAYO. There you
Cinco
go.
de Mayo. Yay.
You have no idea how happy that
Garrett
made me.
Merritt's really excited about Cinco de Mayo.
Yes, definitely.
So I'm just saying, create a Cinco de Mayo theme um, from the. I don't want to confuse it. Using the above graphic. So now you should see it's trying to figure out what I'm trying to say, and you'll see some dots that'll come in there, and it's telling us that it's working right away. In a few minutes, I'll have that graphic. So why is this important? This is something I just learned very recently that I could do, maybe 2 months ago. Uh, and it took me forever to get it done. Now I get it done in about 3 minutes. I can literally change any graphic that I have it convert.
Oh, cool.
There, there we go. Merit, does that
That
meet
looks
with you?
really good.
That was
Yeah.
Sheila's suggestion. Yeah, so Bill, there's a couple of questions in the chat.
Okay.
So one of them I answered in the chat. It said, "What AI platform is Bill using?" And he's using Perplexity right now. And then the other question was, how did you add your attachment? So when it was asking you for the attachment, did it come out of your photo roll? I think you just pulled it from wherever you had graphics saved. I know a lot of times I have stuff on my desktop. So you can pull a graphic or an attachment from wherever you may have it saved.
Right. So I am using Perplexity. Now it does say Perplexity Pro because I pay, I think, $10 a month or something like that to be able to do a lot more. But the free version gives you everything that I'm doing right now. And in this Ask Me Anything, and it's Perplexity exactly as you spell it. It's perplexity.org or .com. So you just I said to it, create a, can you spell Cinco again?
CINCO.
CO?
CO, yes. Day, DE, and then Mayo, MAYO, yes.
from the attached graphic. Now, can you see on the screen right below where I was typing, there's a little plus mark? I'm going to click on that little plus mark. It's right below the word that says create. Somebody give me an affirmative that you can see that. So I click on that, and then you can see that it gives me options that I can click on an image. I can actually take a picture with my camera. I can go grab a file, or I can use a various source. So I am going to click on the word image. That's the first box. Now you see my photos come up here. So these are my photos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over and I'm going to grab one of my new coffee and conversations. Can you see that? It's the fourth one down on the right-hand side. You can see it's a coffee and conversation there. And I'm going to click on the arrow at the very top on the right. And you can see the little inset there, right above where it says create. It says coffee and conversation. You can see that's got a white theme in the back and people sitting around having a cup of coffee. And now I've got my attached graphic. I'm going to click that little arrow that goes up. Dun, 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 dun. Chris, can you give me some music on this?
I'm not sure that I can.
Okay. All right. So you can see it's just played a little trick on me. It's actually telling me how to do it. So I'm going to ask a follow-up question. You can see on the bottom it says ask a follow-up. Please make the changes. And we'll see if it complies or whether it's going to ask me more questions. Every once in a while, AI will be a little arbitrary. Oh, look at this. So those little that box tells me that it's thinking. Now, hopefully it won't kick me out like it did the first time. Hopefully it performs like it did the last two. But just remember, you can use almost any AI to do this function. The free versions will work fine. Paid version, which I use, work fine. But you can change graphics so that your stuff doesn't get stale. Oh, so now here's our Cinco de Mayo coffee and conversation. Now, you notice that in the conversion, this one actually has a date on it. Can you see where it says Monday, May 5th? Does anybody know when Cinco de Mayo takes place?
May 5th.
Oh, it is May 5th. Well, all right. Thank you so much. So that's exactly what I want. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just touch this thing. I'm going to say, you can see it had a little drop down right below it. It says download, share, or report. So if it really messed up, I would report it. If it's perfect and I want to share it and send it to somebody, I could do that by email or by text or by Signal, or I can just download it. And it downloads to your pictures, to right where I got this from. Or I could have went over here, and you see on the left-hand side, right below, there's three little icons. There's one with an arrow pointing down. I'm going to click on that, and you can see on the bottom it says Save to Photos. So I am all set. I have just used these proprietary programs to, I'm going to stop sharing now. And I'm literally going to share my photo screen. And you can see in my photos, I've got two Cinco de Mayo screens. I'm just going to click one
If you're
and bring it
sharing,
up.
oh, okay, I was going to say we couldn't see, but now we can. Okay.
Oh, okay. So those end up in my photo library, and I use Apple, so it also will show up in my favorites, and it will also show up in my screenshots. But I am all set just to drop that in to a newsletter. And that is how cool some of this stuff can be. Now, are there any questions? I'm going to stop sharing this for a second.
Hey,
See
Bill,
if,
one of the questions in the chat is, do
okay,
you prefer Perplexity over some of the other AI platforms, like ChatGPT or some others? Like, what's the reason you're currently using Perplexity?
great question. And I don't have a good answer. When I first started out, I started out with ChatGPT. Then it wouldn't let me do any political stuff. So I went to somebody else, an AI something, and it allowed me to do things. And then somebody on this program, I think it was Inspire, said, I use Perplexity. Or maybe it was Cecilia. And I said, let me try that. So I tried it and I thought, wow, this works really nice. And it upgrades almost weekly. So I haven't went back to anything. So I don't know what to compare it to. So I use Perplexity exclusively only because about 2 or 3 months ago, that's what I started using. And it's been just very comfortable. And it gives me that history. You saw that history? That history goes back to the very first thing I did. And Chris sends me little information. Um, and all of you that are on our leadership team, when you want something published on our newsletter, you send me some information. Sometimes it's not complete. Maybe it has an author. Maybe it has other things like that. Um, I can take that information using Perplexity, and I literally ask it to create a little flyer for me. And I'm actually gonna, if it's okay with you guys, I'll go back up and show you what it does. Or is there another question that I should answer first? So I use Perplexity only because that's what I become comfortable with. Chris, are there any other questions?
No other questions in the chat, but I don't know if anybody wants to raise their hand if they had a question related to this.
Okay,
No? Okay.
all right. So I'm going to pop back up to Perplexity because I know everybody loves to see me struggle to open up my screen. So here I go. I'm opening up my screen. And okay, can you kind of see where I am now? Has my screen popped up?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to hit my library because I mentioned that before. I'm going to hit the view all. So you literally can see what I have been doing. And right down to where I wanted to know how much a white table cost comes. So I'm going to hit this little home button here, and I'm going to ask Perplexity to create 3 to 4 paragraphs. Horrible spelling. Graphs for introducing Dr. Chris Weldy. Did I spell your name right?
You did.
Of Austin or San Antonio?
No, San Antonio.
And this is just a flyer, but it's a how-to hands-on. So we are really hands-on here, and
That is
we're
definitely the wrong Chris Weldy.
well. Let's just see.
I don't think that I'm famous enough to be uh
It's Doctor.
All right.
Perplexity, you're not on perplexity.
So we're
Oh,
going to ask it a little follow-up because I don't think any one of those is Dr. Chris.
Yes.
She is an activist with Indivisible and the Democratic Party. Now we're on a real hunt here.
Try typing in her full first name.
Ooh, yeah. Well, we'll see what happens
I'm
here.
almost scared about what might show up here.
Okay, so let's see what it says. It says Dr. Chris Weldy is a dedicated grassroots activist in San Antonio, Texas, whose work with Indivisible and the Bexar County Democrat Party. Is that correct?
Fair County, but close enough. Yeah. It's a weird pronunciation.
Okay, reflects a deep commitment to democracy, community empowerment. She brings both a sharp analytical mind and a compassionate organizing style to her activism. Boom, 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 boom. And then it gives you can see right below this paragraph, you can see that it references Progressive 1234 Substack. And then it goes on and it talks about through her leadership, she helps reach out, recruit, train, support volunteers to take effective action. We'll go down to, again, it's from Progressive Substack. That's probably our Substack. And
Probably.
then it goes down to beyond formal titles and roles. Dr. Chris is the kind of activist who keeps movements going on between big moments in the news. She helps connect people with resources, yada, yada, yada. And that is pulled from Facebook. So, Dr. Chris, would you be comfortable with somebody using this as an introduction for you?
I'm actually very flattered and also surprised. But yeah, that is interesting, Bill.
So I'm going to ask it, and this is just on a real flyer. I'm going to say, before becoming an activist, what did she do?
Oh no.
Now, if you don't want me to do that, I won't.
No, it doesn't matter. You can.
Okay. Because this is how to hands-on. So before becoming an activist, what did Dr. Chris do? So this morning I took a little heat because we were talking about AI and data centers and how detrimental they can be to communities and the amount of power and everything. And I stepped back and somebody had said, well, that's a lot of construction going on in one locally here. And I stepped back and I said, I view AI as kind of the dawning of the printing press, kind of like the dawning of the Industrial Revolution, the dawning of the internet. It is something that we are going to have to embrace and use. It will be our tools for the future, but that we have to be very careful as to how it is used and what that cost is. And so a few people said, I don't understand why you're saying that. You're a progressive like us. And I said, well, I am, but I use it so much. So here's what it says, folks. It says Dr. Chris spent more than 4 decades working in the federal civil service before becoming a full-time activist. Is that true, Chris?
That is true.
Okay. She served for 41 years in roles with the Department of Defense, the Air Force, and the Army, developing deep expertise in how federal systems, policies, and bureaucracy function in practice. Is that true?
That's pretty true.
Were you in the Department of Defense, the Air Force, and the Army?
I worked as a civil servant for, yes, all of the above.
Very, very cool. Everybody, give her a little applause. That is absolutely amazing. I'm learning something here. That expertise now informs her advocacy on voting rights, civil liberty, good government, and allows her to translate complex legislative and administrative issues into clear, actionable information for grassroots organizers and voters alike. Um, so, so this is kind of how you can do this. Many of you have probably done similar things like this. Ask a speaker 4 or 5 times for their bio. Sometimes they get it to you the moment before they jump on a Zoom or they appear. Literally, you can use something like this, and you can just ask questions. And those little gray areas that tell you where that information comes from, I'm going to click on one, the one that says Progressive 1234, and that is a NWSOFA Coffee and Conversation recap from Friday, March 13th. I'm going to click on that just to see what it gives us. And here it comes. Here is the Substack. And of course, these are Substack update notes from our coffee and conversation. And we're going to find in here, let me get rid of this here, information on Dr. Chris. So that's where this comes from. I'm actually going to X out of this for a second. And then I want to point out to you, now that you've done this, you got it, basically your work is done. I can copy this and I can drop it into a newsletter or something. But if you want some more information, you'll notice that right below the second paragraph, there's these little icons and it says 6 sources. So there literally are 6 sources that it pulled this information from. The NWSOFA Substack, the City Council, public input, We Hold These Truth, the City Council again, and Facebook. I don't know what Eka Iborn APC is, but that's where some of it came from, and from the Jordan Journal presentation on Facebook. So you can drill into each one of those, just like I did on Substack. If you want more information, you just want to double check. So if I wouldn't have had Chris here to say yes, that is true, I probably would have double checked those. So I wouldn't say something that was erroneous introducing someone. But then you notice that there are 3 little areas below that. So Perplexity kind of knows what you're going to ask next. This is amazing and disturbing at the same time. So, what specific roles did Dr. Chris hold in the DoD? Or how did her military career influence her activism with Indivisible? What is her stance on the SAVE Act in detail? Dr. Chris, which one of those would you like me to click just to find more information?
Do the last one. I'm curious.
Me too. Okay. So then it's kind of telling us what it's going to do. Now it's reviewing 13 sources. And
Yep,
Dr. Chris,
that's about accurate. Yes, she is strongly opposed to the SAVE Act and the Save America Act. Yes, that's true.
and you can see one of these comes from the NWSOFA Progressive 123 Substack. Another one comes from an open Substack source. And there are 13 sources that got this information. So it's NWSOFA Substack, it's GOP's new Save America Act, probably for background information on that. Information in Facebook that the Save Act just passed the House. And then in Facebook, some more information from, you say Bear County is how it said?
Yeah.
Information. And then they pulled up some information from Instagram, Facebook, titled Citizens United rolls out anti-Biden campaign. Just Store, Facebook, House. So it's going in and it's pulling information about Chris, But since we said the SAVE Act, it's going in and it's pulling information about the SAVE Act, and it's bringing it all together in a document. And once again, I have the sources below, and now it's talking to me, to Bill. It's because Bill's thinking there's a lot of information. So it's saying to me, would you like to make this a short intro paragraph? Or do you want to turn this into 3 clear talking points? Or do I want to condense it into one strong pull quote? Well, I'm going to say I'm going to make it into a short intro paragraph. Now, in a former life, I had to know and find out everything, and then I had to make it grammatically corrected and take 4 hours to respell everything that I misspelled. And then I had to condense these things. This just did it in about 5 minutes, 5 seconds. And there is my strong introductory paragraph that I could stand up and introduce her with. And it's right there. And then I could, again, I can copy this and paste it, or I can literally ask it to,
Like put it in a Word document or put it in a PowerPoint, right?
yeah, create a PowerPoint slide with the slides, create PowerPoint slides to introduce her with her photo. Now this, I haven't given her her photo or anything like that. We'll just see if it can do that. And by the way, for those of you who are wondering why I talk about my fingers and my spelling, I am one of the few people that took 3 years of freshman 1A college English with a professor, Mr. Wood. And he was so apologetic the second year when he failed me, he specifically asked me to retake his class. And when I did, I became his assistant. And we would go out and drink beer because we were in Wisconsin. We became great friends. Anyway, so it is working right now. It says create an HTML slide deck introducing Dr. Chris Weldy, export it to PowerPoint, and prepare files for sharing. So we'll see as to how this goes. But for me, an activist, a leader of a local group that has seen in the last few years it grow from 3,000 to 5,000 to 75 to 8,500 to now over 10,000, and doing 100 meetings, Zooms in person per year to doing over 600 with essentially the same core of people that are working to create stuff. That's how we're doing it. We're not doing it with any more people. We're doing it with technology and learning how to use it. So it says I created a slide deck. And it tells me, okay, one note, I included a photo result, but it didn't clearly verify that that's Dr. Chris. So I better review that, it's telling me.
I
So-
was gonna say there was
So-
another Chris Weldy that was
Yeah.
not me.
And by the way, I learned to do that because I have actually had errors in the past. So right at the top there, you see a grayed area. It says Chris Weldy intro. That's actually the slides right above where it says I created a slide deck. I'm going to click on that and we'll see what we get.
That was
Uh-oh.
not me.
And there we go. Dr. Chris, before you changed your hair. So 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 it gives us the critical information on the side. It warned me it may not be the right thing. And it gave me 4 slides. So here's the second slide, talks about her life of service, her organizing focus today: voting rights, grassroots mobilized, public education, and a trusted voice for democracy. Now, it only will take me a minute or two to change that picture of Dr. Chris. So I would literally be able to make a Zoom presentation in 5 to 10 minutes from someone saying, I can't make it, Dr. Chris is going to sub for me. I would be able to introduce and to have slides that I could prepare. So I'm going to jump out of this. Hopefully, I will stop sharing. And I'm going to open up to see everybody at the Valerie. Okay. So I would like a little bit of feedback. I would like those of you who use an AI product to do what similar things that I've just showed you, to raise your hand, your digital hand. And I can see, let's see, we have 2,000 people on, and nobody has raised their hand. All right. So I'd like anybody who uses AI on a regular basis, maybe just to do searches for you, to raise your digital hand. So we've got about 20 people on. So Debbie has raised her hand. Marta has raised their hand. Jeannie has raised their hand. Okay. So we're going to go right in order. Jeannie, can you tell me how you use AI?
Just primarily for research. Just I'll put in something about maybe how Georgia is going to be impacted by the big brutal bill, how our health care is going to be impacted by the big beautiful bill, and just take that information when I'm talking to some of the other Democrats that
Okay.
the few that I communicate with, the few that I know.
Which AI product do you use?
Okay, I use Perplexity, but I could swear that I pay about $20 per month, but mine does not say Perplexity Pro. I also have added Claude because, I think I was just trying to advocate for Anthropic because of the fact that they didn't bend the knee. But I haven't. It doesn't seem to be as user friendly as Perplexity. But anyway,
Yeah. And to the comment that it gets things wrong at times, AI does, not just the picture.
I have wondered. I don't have. I guess I do have that Ellen notebook because I mean all of
Oh,
us
yes.
have Google products. I don't seem to be able to generate the types of handouts and things that you're able to. The other day when Miss Laura did what she did, it was like magic. I could not get over how we came out with the end product, and just what you've done today, that it was kind of just remarkable, but I can't figure out how to create the the initial product to even I don't know if I need another, if there's something in the that I'm missing, that maybe
Okay.
I haven't downloaded the Ellen notebook.
Okay. I also have that LM notebook, and we had a discussion on that back maybe a month ago, and I did some really creative things. And then that afternoon, I tried to do it again, and I couldn't figure out how I had done it. So So we'll just have to.
Do you think that having the Perplexity Pro kind of condenses both of the Ellen notebook and what the search part that Perplexity has, that maybe I just need to make sure that I've downloaded Perplexity Pro?
Well, I don't actually know. I wonder if anybody that's on this call knows. Um,
This is Chris. So I use, and I used to be a big Perplexity fan, and I need to go back and kind of play with it more recently. I go between Perplexity and ChatGPT. I used to always use Perplexity because they did a much better job of doing real-time internet searches, whereas ChatGPT, their learning model was based on a certain date. So it wasn't as up to date as Perplexity was. But for your question about some of the magic that you saw that happened today, I mean, you could do your research on a topic, and I do that regularly where I fact check something on Perplexity, but then right after you fact check it, and or ChatGPT, you can then say, make me a graphic that I could use on social media to reflect, like the information that you just researched. The reason I use that a lot is because if I'm doing a social media post, I know that a meme gets a lot of attention, like as people are scrolling. So you need to capture their attention with a meme, something graphic. And both Perplexity or Chat GPT will do that. And the Notebook LM one that you're mentioning, I mean, that's to convert, to basically have audio, whether it's podcast or files or summaries or things like that. So
Yeah,
not,
I don't want to have a AI boyfriend.
yeah,
I don't want to be talking to. I don't want to be chatting with
yeah. So
the little AI creatures.
right, right. So the way you're using Perplexity right now, Jeannie, is you're doing research. So let's say you were doing research on voter fraud and the need for the Save America Act, right? Okay. And you could say, has there been any credible reports about voter fraud? You could ask that question, right? And then they might say, no, there's been three major studies, and they would list them that show that it's 0.00007, percent of voter fraud. So it's essentially statistically a non-existent problem. And then you could say, okay, based on that, can you make an image that reflects that? And it will make an image that will summarize some of that information, and then you can use that image.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to go to Debbie because you had your hand up. Did you use it? How do you use AI? Debbie, if you could unmute yourself. Okay. Let me see if I can actually ask her to unmute. There goes. Debbie, can you unmute yourself?
Yes.
There you are.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I basically use it the same way as we've been talking about, to research, to get information. And I also use it when I compose an email or a letter or something, just to kind of polish up my writing, polish it up a little bit. Those are the only two ways I've really used it. And I too, and the only way I can, that I know of, to then print out something that I want printed out, is I have to copy and paste it into my notes, and then I print it out. But I have a feeling that there might be a better way to do that I just don't know about.
yeah. Okay. Very good. And which product do you use? Do you use ChatGPT or Perplexity?
Yeah, I was using chat, but then with the whole Anthropic thing, I deleted my chat and I went to Claude. I did have Perplexity, but I really hadn't used it, so I got rid of that app, but I think I might put it back on. And I don't find that Claude gives me as much information and then asks me as many questions, to prompt me to the next thing as the chat GPT did. But I kind of want to stay away from them and support Anthropic. So I'm just going to keep trying to work with Claude a little bit more.
Yeah. I had noted that in chat, Ladasha, I hope I said your name correct, had a comment. Could you unmute and explain what you were showing us there?
So I use it like because I'm still in school with my last semester. So like most times since I'm a strictly online student, so I don't meet with professors at all. So they just post the work and if you do have a question, they take a couple days to answer back. So I just copy the assignment into like ChatGPT and break it down to like simplify this into, simpler terms and provide me like a guideline. And then like it'll, have different guidelines or whatever and resources that come with it. So I'll look at the resources first to see if they're accurate, and then I'll go from there.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, we're at 3 o'clock. We got about 15 minutes left. I'm going to attempt to show you one more thing, a finished product. So I'm going to do this sharing of a screenshot, and see if I can find it. I think this will be it. Yes. Okay. So this is a promo that I sent out for a program that we have tonight that Dr. Chris is actually going to be running. And as you can see, I'm going to blow it up. Tell me if you can see it better when I blow it up. Can you see noise versus news? I'm double checking to see that you can see what I'm
Yes.
showing. Okay. good,
Yes, we
thank
can
you.
see it.
Yeah. So basically, I just bring up a format. I'm using Constant Contact, but you can use any of the different ones on this. I just drop in. You notice that graphic there is very similar to the graphics that was like what's next or whatever. And actually, Dr. Chris sends me the graphic. And I just take that graphic and I drop it in. And then I go down to this area in white that says Join Vision Forward, Braver Angels, Noise versus News, at Wednesday, April 1st at 7 p.m. By the way, that's 7 p.m. tonight, Central, 8 Eastern, same channel as you just joined here. And then I just take that stuff that we created like for Dr. Chris in Perplexity. I copy that and paste it. Now, interesting enough, I'm not good enough yet to have it come over with the blues and the emphasis and the different things. So it comes over as basically text. And then I have to add the titles with a higher font and different things. But that doesn't take that long. I actually, these days, take longer setting it up in Mobilize and then in Constant Contact than I do creating it. Used to be the other way around. And then I have on the bottom, I have 3 already pre-programmed graphics that are automatic on the bottom of each one of them, and each one of them contains a link. So I have my flyer to send out. And this is what we call a modified flyer. It doesn't have all the different things that we do, like many of ours. A lot of ours will also have the coffee and conversation, unhappy happy hour, sorting soup, all the things we do every week. But this is modified so that it can be sent out nice and easy and doesn't offend anyone. And I could drop in very quickly to this. that little graphic that we used on What Next with Cinco de Mayo. I could drop in a new all about the group program leader. Oh, I just noticed that program leader is spelled with a 9. Huh. Oh well, I will change that in a few minutes when I send out the 3 o'clock on this. But it becomes a very quick and easy way that you can move information around. I'm going to take myself out of this now. I will. I think I'm going to take myself out of this. There we go. Stop share so I can see you all. Um, and that is kind of our how-to hands-on session. I could literally go up and build that graphic if you would like, or we can answer any general questions that you may have, or you may have a question about how you do something else. A couple of weeks ago, we spent time as to how to set up a Zoom timer. A couple of weeks before that, we did something about how to download a chat file. Okay, Jeannie just said, okay, and you disappeared from me. There you go. In my chat, she said, build the graphic, please. Okay. So was that to me or was that to Dr. Chris? Jeannie, can you come off mute, please, and let us know if you're asking us
I
to do
just thought
something?
that that was your question. You were asking, did you want to build the graphic or do something else? And I would like to see you building the graphic if there's time.
Yeah, we're actually going to have you do that, but I'll be showing it, and you'll be telling me what to do. So I'm going to start my share, and we're going to do a screen share, and then these magical fingers will try to find their way around the screen. And okay, so let me know if you can see my screen. It says Perplexity Pro on it. Can
Yes,
somebody
we can
okay,
see it.
excellent. And I just went up to perplexity.org, I believe it is, or .com, and you do have to sign up the first time, but most of this will come up for you. And so go ahead and tell me what type of graphic you'd like me to create. Go ahead, Jeannie.
I borrowed a sign for No King's Day, and I thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. Please forgive me, but it said free balls for all Congress members who have lost theirs. Can you do something? Can you do something
Hopefully I don't get
pertaining
kicked
to
off of
that?
this forever. Create free, not three, free
Uh-huh.
For congressmen.
Who seem to appear to have lost theirs. And then it had balls all over it, little like craft balls, but all different sizes, all different shapes, all different colors of balls.
But you're asking Bill to create a protest sign, right?
Yes, or a
Okay, so
meme, or
before free balls, you need to say protest sign, Bill.
or a meme. Yeah.
Okay, so I always start out with the word create.
Yeah, and then protest sign, because that's
Okay.
what we're creating.
Uh-huh.
Protest, I'm going to call it a graphic if that's all right with you.
Okay.
/sign. Free balls for those who have lost theirs. All right. Now, guys, look away from the screen. I will tell you that if you can look at the screen.
Oh, I hope
because-
I've seen some kind of vulgar ones, but mine was really cute.
All right, so it's working. And it just says, okay, punchy layout. Oh, so it's going to tell me what to do. So I'm going to ask it again. Create the graphic protest sign. So I have to be a little stern with it now. I want you to do this. It just told me how to do it. And we'll see if the little dots come in. I don't see the little dots yet. So it may tell me to take a hike. I'm not sure. Outlining design elements and layout. Okay. Oh, all right. So Jeannie, I think you're just backing me into a corner with this here. Oh. Well, so we got free balls for congressmen who have lost theirs. And
Okay,
I have
can
no
we
idea.
add balls?
Yeah,
right.
you would have to modify it and say, yeah, add the balls, right?
So
I don't know why there's a screw, but
add the congressman's balls all over the graphic. All right. So it says, I cannot add or depict congressman balls for similar explicit sexual energy. I can revise the sign to lean harder into the no backbone. Oh, that's what that was. That wasn't a screw. It's a no
oh, no
backbone.
backbone. Okay.
Okay. Replacing with scattered cartoon lost finds,
Just
adding.
add that the balls are not anatomical balls, like tennis balls or something.
Yeah,
All
say
right.
like
Yeah,
ping
yeah,
pong balls.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or craft, yeah, craft balls.
Yeah, and you could say colorful tennis balls or colorful ping pong balls.
Yeah,
I've seen signs like that too.
I did too. Yeah.
And they're usually hung in pairs, maybe on a and you don't actually want the sign to have the balls. You want to put your own balls on there. It's more dramatic. So you don't actually want them. You just want a big blank space so you can hang.
actually, the sign itself was lovely. Yeah, and
I,
then you add all your own different
I,
sizes of balls.
I did see a sign similar to that at the Arlington Heights, where in fact they talked about the congressman balls, but they had little balloons that were in pairs with a little water that was taped to it or stapled to it. All right, so let's see what we get here. All right,
That's
so
good. That's good. Yeah, that's perfect.
well, you get the idea, and the screw is still in the center, but we know now that screw is a spine. You know what? I'm going to ask it to make the
Hey,
spine.
Bill, this is Linda Titus.
Go
So
ahead.
we made bags of blue balls to drop off at our congressman's office. So we put them in. We tied two blue balls that was about the size of ping pong balls and put them in the baggies, and then we took like hundreds of bags of it to his office and dumped them at the window there for his staffers.
What was
And
what was the, what was the
with the
response?
Constitution, yeah, we had the Constitution attached to it. So yeah, and they did receive them, put them all in another box, and I don't know what they did with them after that.
I think that is great. Thank you for doing that. So I did ask it to make the spine more realistic and to make the the 10th balls blue. And so we'll see what we get. And then I may ask it to, okay, so it's a little bit there. So now for the finishing touch though, it is put the Constitution as a full backdrop. A faded. Put a faded Original U.S. Constitution. Okay, so let's just see if that it takes it. It looks a little Swedish right now with the yellow and the blue, or Ukraine, one of the one of the two. So this will be the last that we do on this. I want to thank everybody for coming out to How To Hands On. Typically, this is a much better program, but we have Easter week and everybody's doing a lot of different things. So we just took something that I had been working on and just thought we would show you. And I hope that you can use some of these techniques to, oh, look at this. Look at this. So there we are, we the people in the background. You could take this to any printer and print this off at any size. You could put a yardstick, tape it to a yardstick, and you got a beautiful, beautiful sign. And wherever those blue balls are, you could staple, or you could tape a little balloons. But
Kind of sexist.
it's certainly something. I don't know, but I'm going to save this because I kind of think it's neat. So I'm going to make it a download, which will go to my pictures, and then I'm just going to go back to Zoom, stop my share, and thank you all for being part of How To Hands On. Hopefully, we accomplished our goal. We did the how-to portion, which was talking about ways to make you more effective in communicating with your members, your friends, your family, whatever. Because once you make one of these graphics, you can put it into Facebook, you can put it into your Zooms, you can add that just about anything. It is part of yours. You can make it into a sign, a protest sign, whatever you want. So that's the how to portion, or the hands on, and then the how to, or that was the how to. The hands on was Bill and his fingers trying to figure out how to communicate with AI to create something that all of a sudden you go, wow, that really looks good. And I got to tell you, at that very end, when the Constitution popped up in the background of that thing, I thought that was terrific. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know how else to say it, but just terrific. Barrett, what did you think? You get the last word because you've been at everything that I've been doing the last week. Oh, you're on mute.
Yeah, it's great. I think it's really a good tool.
Great. And Dr. Chris, thank you so much for helping out, because when I'm on that screen, I had forgotten that I couldn't see questions or what you folks are doing. Linda, thanks for the clapping hand. Folks, so these sessions are perfect, small groups, and we can ask questions. Sometimes we can have a particular subject. Every once in a while, we do a Ask the Audience, where we just ask you guys at the very beginning, what would you like to know about? What thing did you have a problem with this week? Or how would you like to be more effective? So I hope that this was helpful to everybody. Just a note, we did record this, so it is on the NWSOFA.org. That's NWS for Northwest Suburbs, OFA, Organizing for Action.org website. When you click on that, you just click on the tab at the top that says YouTube channel, and that'll take you to a link. And then all of a sudden you'll see there are like 400, 500 videos that we've had over the last 10 years. Too much to go through, but there are 4 tabs at the top, 5 tabs at the top. The center one says live. You want to kick that live, and this will be the first one that you'll see in the spread of 8. So you can go up there and you can see exactly what we wanted to show you. And then you can count how many times I said, oops, and how many times I said, oh, my fingers are just too bad. and my explanations about my use of the English language. Well, thank you all. And by the way, remember, join tonight at 7 o'clock on this link, NWSOFA's link, for Dr. Chris Weldy's Braver Angels. What is it? News versus
Yeah,
news.
noise versus the Braver Angels noise versus news, but this particular
Great.
one, they're talking about news aggregators. And we'll all learn about what that means together. It's just a good way of making sure you are finding unbiased news sources, or at
Yeah.
least recognizing the bias in news sources.
So when you're doing the laundry, do you go around the house and do you aggregate all your laundry into the basket? Is that what that means?
That's generally how it works
No.
at my house.
No.
Hey, Bill,
Yes.
when you were doing the perplexity in that box where you were trying to type directions, I saw a little microphone, so you might be able to speak to it.
Yes. Yeah.
He is able to. Yeah.
Then
I
you won't
can't-
have to worry about your fingers.
Yeah. Well, Caroline, I'm a Wisconsin farm boy, and I have a Wisconsin lisp that gets me in
Oh,
kinds of trouble. And
okay.
it sometimes doesn't understand words like bubblers or soda pop.
Okay.
AI will recognize it.
All right. Well, you know what? This could be a great session. So next week, if we don't have anybody with a already pre-programmed thing, we may go back up there and experiment with how to use Perplexity or Chat GBT using voice. That would be kind of cool. And then there's so much more you can do, because once you make something and you say that looks really good, you can literally tell it to upload it to your Facebook or to create a separate document. Boom, and you got it. All right, thanks everybody.
Thanks.
All right.